Well, good evening, folks, and welcome in to the David Paisano Show. How's everything going tonight? We are going to see what's happening in the world of Finn. Probably not much happening in the world of Finn. Still waiting around for those fun and answers. Well, it's about 8:05 here, a little bit after 8 o'clock. Just didn't have anything going on tonight. Thought maybe I'd just go live, see if anybody else wanted to join in the fun. Well, we just had the splashdown. I'm going to finish eating my sandwich too. Sorry about that, but I forgot to finish eating my sandwich before I went live. But just got done watching the splashdown. I mean, I was like 3 years old, and I remember my mom pulling me over in front of the television and saying, "You got to watch what's on TV. It's important." And they were covering the moon landing, if you will. And I was watching this grainy TV screen, black and white. These images were coming back of astronauts doing their first thing on the moon. And this is probably one of the first memories I have of television was of that grainy picture of people landing on the moon, and my mom saying, "Oh, you should watch this. It's an important historical event." And so I watched that, and I just got done watching a few minutes ago the splashdown. Earlier on April 1st, I watched the rocket go up, obviously, but I was watching the splashdown of the space capsule, and it's amazing that we were able to uh, repeat, let's say, the moon mission. Many people years ago doubted that we ever actually went to the moon, and that all the images that they were showing, and it was just propaganda from the United States of America, showing that there were certain technological advantages or capabilities. But no other country has done what the United States has done when it comes to either faking space travel or making space travel happen. And it's just amazing that, while the Russians got a head start with their cosmonaut program, and they were able to put Yuri Gagarin in space, uh, we've so much surpassed the capabilities of what other countries have shown to be able to accomplish with their program. We are so far. We have done so much more than any other country when it comes to space exploration. What their programs are now, the Chinese and Japanese, some of the Asian countries are saying that they're going to be able to accomplish some things. And we all remember back when we were friends with the Russians, we had the Apollo Soyuz mission where we actually collaborated with one of the first space stations with the Soviet Union. I don't know what will happen to all of that friendship and capability of the planet, but during this space mission, the pilot of the craft, basically said, in effect, this is the capabilities of humankind. And it really is. I mean, looking back from outer space at the one planet, there is one planet. It's irrefutable evidence that we all live on one planet, and why the people on one planet can't seem to manage their planet, if you will, is just somewhat crazy. But of course, we now have to give partial credit to the Canadians because there was a Canadian on the flight. I consider the Canadian on the flight kind of like Amelia Earhart when Amelia Earhart was involved in some of those first flights where she was just baggage, if you will. So, that poor Canadian that was on that flight, he probably felt like Amelia Earhart. He's just along for the ride. But we've come a long way. Diversity. inclusion, all of those things. In space travel. Back when I watched the first space program back in '69, uh, it was all a bunch of white men. But now we have black man, we have female, and we have a Canadian. and so anyway, just had to throw that in. Mm. So there's that. Well, what should we talk about tonight? I was going to lead off with the big splashdown and what we are able to do there. I noticed that Cynthia Meacham put out a video today, so I guess I'll just start from today and work backwards on everything we missed. And we've missed a lot. So we all know that Cynthia, at the end of her video series on Forrest Fenn, around the time the Netflix thing came out, said that she was Forrest Fenn's lover. Okay, I'll give you that. But it's just low hanging fruit for you to put out a video today showing that you're looking at being a person from Idaho. Oh, do you really think you should have done a video from Idaho after your last video was one where you proclaimed to be Forrest Fenn's lover? Okay, this is all in good fun. But I just found it interesting that the next video that I see you in is one where you're proclaiming you're looking in Idaho. And I'm not even sure what you were looking for there, but in that video today, she talked about hanging around with Justin Posey for quite a long time up in Montana or someplace, and I don't know, maybe they're better friends than I know they are, but I'm surprised that she hasn't came forward and said that she was Justin Posey's lover. you know. Mm, mm, mm. So I got myself scheduled this week. I'm officially going to be in New Mexico um, on the 16th of May. May 16th, I'll be in Mexico, in New Mexico, um, going out to the special event held twice a year, where you can go look at the Folsom Man site. Okay, you have to schedule this uh, through the museum. They do this twice a year. So I got the last spot for the afternoon session on the 16th of May. And so I'll be driving out and going to the afternoon session. And then I'll probably have to grab a hotel, either, I don't know, Clayton or, let's see. I don't think there's any hotels in Folsom. At least it's not haunted. Anyway, but then, let's see, Raton. I'll have to either stay in one of those two towns. So I'll be getting a suite. And if anybody's going to that event, I could buy you a beer at a local establishment and that kind of thing. If anybody's interested, there is a morning session. There were 10 spots available in the morning session as of yesterday. This thing sold out faster than I thought it was going to sell out. So I guess I should have came on last week and mentioned the Folsom Man site visit and did a show on it last week because it sold out faster than I ever thought it would. I figured I'd have plenty of time to do a show this week and tell everybody about it, but unfortunately it sold out early. So if you're interested in that event, I will Let me put this up. Okay, let's see if we can find this. And I'll share the screen here so everybody can watch. All right, so this is what we're talking about. So the Folsom Museum puts on the Folsom Site Tour, and this is an opportunity to experience the Wild Horse Arroyo pretty much unchanged from the way it was when George McJunkin found it in 1908. Except then, the flood that killed 30 people in Folsom had left a raw-cut bank in the Wild Horse Arroyo. Here is where George found the bones of bison and tiquus, bones that he knew were far too big to belong to the historical bison. Okay, so if you want to register for this event, it's going to be on May 16th this year. You need to go to the registration page, and it's just an Eventbrite page, and it will get yourself registered. I'll copy this and put it into the chat for anybody that's interested in such a thing. And so if you're interested in taking this tour, this is how you get yourself in touch with the tour. And this, this place is tucked away in the rugged pinyon and cedar covered mesas west of the village of Folsom in New Mexico. And you can read about McJunkin and his exploits and all of the information about what's involved in this tour, who all was involved in it. There's a pretty long story here on the website. But if this is the kind of thing that you might find interesting, I finally made my commitment to actually get my butt out there and get to this event. I put this off for several years. Every time I thought about doing it, it was already sold out before I got my spot. But this year I've got my spot, and I'm going to go out there. And so I will be taking the afternoon tour. And yesterday they still had 10 spaces available in the morning tour. If you wanted to take the morning tour, it was still available. So, but what I'm saying is I will be staying the night of the 16th, either in Raton or Clayton, probably. I don't think I want to go all the way to Trinidad. But anyway, and then Sunday could possibly have a brunch or whatever. And if anybody was interested in doing something like that, I don't know if they have a Golden Corral. Let me see if they have a Golden Corral in Raton. Let's see. Golden. I don't think they do. And there is no Golden Corral in Raton. Where's the closest one? Anyway, though the Golden Corral does have a restaurant locator. But anyway, there is a Trust of Living says Bob's Steakhouse would be the place to go eat. Well, that's, I ate at a very nice steakhouse one time in Raton, and I don't know if it was Bob's Steakhouse or somebody else's, but it was really pretty darn good. So, I mean, I guess we could check out and see what's available. Okay, so there's the update. That is the update on the May 16th tour and what's still available. So anybody that's interested in that kind of thing, I guess you can just type a comment in. Uh, Trusted Living says that they have their own raised beef and a decent salad bar. Okay, you've got me interested, and so I will have to Google this. Google Bob's Steakhouse in Raton. I think I'm pronouncing that correct. K-Bob Steakhouse. Oh my God. Trusted Living. I've eaten at K-Bob's Steakhouse in Raton. Honest to God, I have been there. Um, I have been there. I ate at that place. I ate at that place. Oh man. I also ate at the Denny's. I think I've eaten at the Denny's there too. But if you really want to have the best breakfast menu available, you honestly need to stop and eat at the uh the what is it? It's like in Des Moines. It's the best breakfast you'll ever get at a Sinclair station. It's the best breakfast you'll ever get at a Sinclair station that doesn't sell gas. Well, they might sell gas, but that's just you put too many beans in your burrito. Oh man, I can't remember what the name of that place is. Mm. But I indeed I have eaten at K Bob's. Um, oh yeah, that was good food. That was great. Nice steak, everything. Anyway, Trusted Living sounds like you're volunteering to come over and meet me for a steak over there at the K Bob's. Anyway, uh, anyway, Zozo's here playing us some Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. Yeah, play it loud. So we still don't have a top five tonight. We've got Captain Kidd, Trust the Living, and Zozo. And that's it. Pretty small crowd tonight. I guess not too many people are in the Finn mood on a Friday. But I appreciate everybody who's joined in tonight. Um, so what's going on? I didn't give much feedback on Seeker Summit because I think this is my first appearance since the Seeker Summit. And I guess they had a treasure hunt that lasted 12 minutes. So I'm pretty glad that I did not drive 1,000 miles out to Tucson, Arizona for a 12-minute treasure hunt. I mean, I can last 12 minutes even without Viagra. I mean, come on, guys. That was just pretty lame. And apparently all of the posters or something, all the pictures or posters gave away you had to get clues from them in order to come up with the answer. I mean, that's just kind of right out of the Golden Hair, the rabbit in the masquerade. Oh, we're gonna make banners. I wonder how hard it was for all the people that put their banners up to keep the secret and not tell one of their friends that they encoded actual clues in their banner, and that was going to be part of the treasure hunt. Now let's just figure out how you have a 12-minute treasure hunt. You tell the people that are putting banners up that they need to put specific clues in their banner. Oh, how many people did that get in the telephone game? And then the person that wins it, the people that win the contest, take pictures of all the banners. So all they have to do is sit and scroll through their phone to get the clues as opposed to run around with their head cut off in a crowd of 1,000 other people figuring out the answers? Huh, huh, huh. I mean, if you want a treasure hunt that ended badly, if you want a treasure hunt that never really happened, if you want to have a treasure hunt with a predetermined winner, sounds like we had one at Seekers Summit. That's right. I'm going to go off. I'm going to go full on this. And if I would have driven 1,000 miles and been out there for a 12-minute treasure hunt, you would have seen me doing a show live as soon as that thing got over, telling people how corrupt it was, how bad it was, and how stupid it was to give out the clues or the puzzle in that manner to so many people. That was just crazy. I'm telling you, that was a rigged treasure hunt if I'd ever seen one. Uh, Zozo says the reason nobody's here is because everybody is watching the useless football league, and Orlando is playing Louisville. Well, unfortunately, my Fox affiliate changed their beam or whatever, and I don't get Fox very well. But anytime Louisville's involved, I'm all for that. Mm-hmm. Tonight's show is brought to you by a dash of grape Gatorade, a Diet Coke, and Bacardi Gold, and some ice. So that's the drink of tonight. Well, the Nomadic Madman is assisting us in rounding out the top 5. I'm making it a top 5 because I posted. I'm counting myself. Anyway, I just sewed up. Yeah, I tell you what, Nomadic Madman. Did anybody ever find your penny and contact you about finding your penny up there at the Fenn Rock? I watched that video on the Discord today, and it was pretty entertaining. I was amazed at how loud it is. So for people that want to get caught up on the discussion, so the Discord today, Nomadic put up a video he did when he went up to 9 Mile Hole, and he had a narration, and I just kept hearing all these cars in the background, all this background noise, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, Forrest Fenn wants to spend his eternity listening to traffic across the river to an island where he secreted his treasure, and I'm thinking, nah, I don't think this would be where Forrest Fenn would want to be in solitude. I've been to places where you can park along the side of the road and you can literally be there for 4 hours and there'll be one car come by. And if you haven't had the experience of complete solitude on a stretch of road where there's no traffic, there's no noise, not even the sound of a bison, not even the sound of a horse or an animal or anything. And there are places where you can go at night where you can actually hear the pitter patter of rabbits moving around you because it's so quiet. And I just don't see that stretch of the river being the place where Forrest Fenn would want to be secreted. Nomadic is number 1. He says, in a chat some time ago, someone reported that the penny was gone. Well, so much for getting your 2 cents worth out of it. Yeah, I used to put little geocaches out when I was out hunting for the Forrest Fenn treasure. Then I went back and basically picked them all up because I didn't want to be the guy that put stuff out there and just left it. Nobody found any of the things I put out. I didn't just cover them with detritus or just a few twigs or things. I actually buried one of them about that deep, and so you would have had to have been really actually looking for that one to find it. But yeah, I mean, I put an ammo box out uncovered in one spot, and it was still there when I came back. and it was just merely sitting behind the stump of the tree. But I mean, you had to have maybe left the road and went to take a pee or something off the road in order to find it. I mean, you'd had to look kind of behind the tree, and there was no reason to stop there where I put it. Uh, I deposited a couple of treasures out in New Mexico. Uh, I marked their area with some toilet paper. Uh, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. Well, what else do you want to talk about? I just reamed the Seeker Summit. So the other big news from Seeker Summit, if you're not following along, was that the Justin Posey did a Q&A. And I think he made a mistake. And somebody asked Justin Posey, was the treasure, his treasure, hidden within 75 miles of where he looked for Forrest Fenn's treasure? Okay, that was the question. And he said yes. He answered this question in the affirmative. Well, he had just eliminated two states, Colorado and Oregon, from his search, right? He eliminated Colorado and Oregon. And so, if that's the case, and Forrest Fenn's treasure was located within Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and northern New Mexico, did Justin Posey eliminate everything except 75 miles outside of Montana, 75 miles outside of Wyoming, which would include part of Idaho? Did he? And then he eliminated Colorado. And so I think you have to consider the fact that I think he shrunk his treasure hunt territory to a very, very small area. And he also had eliminated the southern part of New Mexico. Now, I personally think that the Justin Posey treasure is in southern New Mexico. I honestly think that's where he hid it. Tularosa, if you will. I think White Sands, there's all these stories about White Sands and Tularosa and his Noreen and Leading Posey, which is his grandparents basically were railroaders there. And he comes from a large family of railroaders. And so he comes from a long. Oh my God, I just solved it. He's railroading us. That's why Forrest chose Justin Posey, because he's railroading us all. Well, anyway, so I actually have that as my Justin Posey Beyond the Map's Edge search location. That's if I was going to go look for it, maybe I already did. That's where I would look. All right. And I'm going to put up, I'm not going to do this tonight, but I should show you my research information that I did, boots on the ground for that treasure. Anyway, but I did get some wine, that was, made, out of pistachios. And if you want pistachios, go to White Sands, go to the missile base. They have all kinds of pistachios. Now, there's a rare gypsum that forms the white sand. And the one thing I didn't do when I was in White Sands was get a jar full of white sand. And then maybe I could sell it on Sotheby's or some other auction site, and then make it part of a new treasure hunt. Because it would be the jar of sand or whatever. But anyway. Nomadic says, I lost a painted rock on one of my searches near Cimarron. LOL. Oh man, Nomadic, you actually searched around Cimarron? Nomadic, I have it on good information that Dave from back east may have your rock. Nomadic, did you lose that rock when you were at the uh, Philmont Boy Scout camp when you were 10 or 11 years old, or was this recently? Oh, so it was in Colorado. Trust the Living says it was in Colorado, uh, near the twin estate of the one in Cimarron. Near the twin estate of the one in Cimarron. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which twin estate that would be near Cimarron. I looked quite. I mean, I know a lot about the at Cimarron area and the St. James Hotel. Might have seen the bullet hole. Might have stayed in the hotel. Might have been to Dawson, Dawson's Creek. Might have looked along the railroad, the old abandoned railroad there. Might know about Lucy and Maxwell. Um, any of this ringing a bell to those Cimarron people? Uh, I asked Dave if he ever went back to the fire pit. I don't think he ever went back. Well, Dave's had his feet to the fire before. I don't know. Did he actually end up suing Forrest Fenn? Did Dave from back east actually finally suing him? Uh, I don't know. Yeah. The twin estate of the one in Cimarron. You know, Cimarron is an Indian term for brown. Uh, oh, the twin estate is a secret where there was twins of everything as confirmations. Was this somewhere near the Casa de Gavilan? I will never admit that I was on the Boy Scout area. I don't think you're supposed to go there, but I do have a lot of good video. Okay, Nomadic Madman, you and I, you and I, uh, must have been looking at the same thing. So Forrest Fenn was this great pilot, right? And at one time, I got so convinced that Forrest Fenn had flew to an abandoned airstrip and landed his plane just as he did in the story where he flew into the golf course, landed on the fairway, went and bought these rugs from this lady, and then put the rugs on his plane. And as the police were showing up, asking the lady if there was a plane in her backyard, he jettisoned out the back of the place, hopped on his plane, and flew off. Right? I was convinced that Forrest Fenn had taken his Malibu Piper and somehow landed on the abandoned airway at the Philmont Scout Ranch, the Philmont uh, Boy Scout Ranch, because there is an abandoned old Eagle's Nest or Cimarron landing strip that's on the Philmont Ranch. And I was 100% sure that he had landed his plane at the Philmont Ranch and that there's this visible from space is this round circular marker of where that airport landing strip used to be. And I honestly, on my first boots on the ground in 2015, was going to go try to find that circular structure of rocks at the Philmont Boy Scout camp because I was sure that that was where it was at. And since we're on to this subject, I'm going to pull up this abandoned. I spent weeks on this. Hold on, I'll get there in a second. Okay. here it is. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I literally spent a week on this project. You got to remember, I worked on this treasure hunt from 2013 in 2014, about June of 2013. I worked on this a year and a half before I went boots on the ground, and I must have spent a week or two on Paul Freeman's abandoned and little known airfield site. I must have spent literally a week on this, and so I looked at where is it? Or I need to go to New Mexico. MNNNOOPP. It has a section for Wyoming. Okay. So you're looking at the Ute Dam Airfield in Logan, New Mexico. All right. So that was like, one of the possibilities. The next one, so this is the Ute Dam, Ute Lake State Park. So this is what that airfield looked like. And this one's at Tucumcari. And you can actually see this airstrip. And this guy's went out and photographed these airstrips. Anyway, so but let me see if I can find the one I'm looking for. Alamogordo, Central, Northeastern. Maybe this is in Eastern New Mexico. There's the Fort Sumner at Charlotte. So there's the Fort Sumner one. Let's see what it looks like. There's Portales. Where's the Philmont? It's got to be in here somewhere. We'll find it. Wow. Here's the Hillcrest in Clovis. Well, anyway, I swear to God that on this abandoned and little known airfields, that you could find the one that was at the Philmont camp. Maybe that's Central New Mexico. There's the Magdalena Airport. Well, anyway, my point is that when I was doing research, I was convinced that Forrest Fenn had hid his treasure at some airfield that he flew into, and then it's an abandoned airfield. So anyway, Casa was the first of the twins. Oh yeah, there's a lot of twins, and if you do remember correctly, that there were twins in the Forrest Fenn's mother's family. In other words, she was a twin. Her was what was it? Something May, Ora May Simpson, and then there was Forrest. What was her name? Fannie Mae, not Fannie Mae. That's the lending company. Willie Mae, and Ora Mae Simpson. And so yeah, the twin theme rings true. Bill Gorman had 6 new puppies today. And there was 4 reindeer herders and 2 red merles. Well, congratulations on uh, your litter. You remember Forrest Fenn's name, pilot name was what? Litter something? He was Litter what? His call sign was Litter. What was it? Litter 8 or something like that? Oh my God, the Gooey Duck comes in at number 6. By the way, Bill Gorman's number 5 tonight. The Gooey Duck is number 6. Uh, the Blaze has a twin. Multiple twinning action. Only 2 each, several thousands of years old. Oh, Trusted Living is pointing out that Forrest Fenn's call was litter 81. Nomadic Madman says that something intersects where the chest is, but I guess don't know what I'm doing. Well, I was told one time by this girl that, if you don't know what you're doing, just keep doing it long enough. If you just keep doing it and keep doing it long enough, it'll be okay. Bad advice. Anyway, the Gooey Duck says the chest was 25 feet away. Yeah, I went to the Stormy Daniels performance back when she was doing her tour after Trump, and the chest was definitely at least 25 feet away from me. And I didn't get any closer to that chest than I did Forrest Fenn's. So there you go. The Hoof is here. Nomadic Madman says, I nap everywhere. Oh, okay. What's that? I don't know what that is. I haven't seen it in a long time. So the Gooey Duck says there's only 2 each, several thousands of years old. Well, there's MJ. There's a twin at Tom Broadbent, which means twin at grassy field near stream. Well, I mean, there could be twin peaks. I mean, like the Spanish peaks. They're twins. There's 2 of them. You know, Noah put the animals on the ark in pairs. I guess that would be twins. The Hoof wants me to say it like I mean it. You're talking about the Overlook Blaze. Well, I don't know exactly which twin you want to talk about. I mean, there's so many different, twins from Willie Mae and Willie Gay. It's Willie Gay and Aura Mae Simpson. I mean, there's one set of twins there. But I mean, the Piper had twin engines, right? That was another set of twins in the 20 thing. And there was a scrapbook about this whole twin idea as well. And so, and maybe there's 2 chests. There's twin chests. There's the one that Posey got, and then there's a different chest. It never ends. What a thought. Yeah, that is the possibility that not that it doesn't end, that there is no end. It reminds me of Mel's Hole. There's this thing in the world of late night radio called the Art Bell Show. And one of the famous bits that happened on Art Bell's show was Mel's Hole. And one of the guests was Mel. And Mel could tell the story about his hole. And it basically was an infinity hole that had no end because they had tried everything to figure out how deep the hole was. They'd taken string, put it down the hole, and they kept running out of string. And they thought that when they got to the bottom of the hole, the string would, get slack. But they could never get slack in the string. They tried that with fishing line. They could never get slack in the fishing line. And uh, Mel talked about how many people had came out and tried to determine the depth of the hole by dropping an object in it and then listening for the sound of the object hitting the bottom of the hole. And even with the most sophisticated listening devices, they could not determine the depth of Mel's hole. And the guy could go on for literally 3 hours on late night radio talking about the hole and how it was unmeasurable and how the hole was its own organism, if you will. And for those people who remember Art Bell and who may have remembered the hole with no bottom to it, yeah, that could be it. Uh, it could never end. The hole has no bottom. Actually, the Piper Malibu Mirage is a single engine airplane. It originally was a piston engine and he converted it to a turbine engine, but it was a single engine plane. Well, thank you for the correction on that. And and I did read some technical specifications on how it was popular to convert these Piper Malibus from a piston uh, engine to a turbine. I did indeed read that many of them did get converted during that period of time when that was in fashion. So thank you so much for pointing that out. But I still like adding an extra engine to it. Uh, the Gooey Duck says the Federals took over Mel's Hole in eastern Washington, south of Yakima. So Mel's Hole no longer exists? Oh man. The government's wherever there's treasure, the government seems to take over. White Sands, had the great, treasure that Doc Noss lost his life over trying to find. Uh, and Justin Posey got interested in that Doc Noss treasure as well. Uh, I can't remember the name of it right now. But anyway, there's every place there's a good hoard of gold. I'm surprised the government hasn't taken over Oak Island. Bill Gorman is wanting to know how deep is a bullet hole. Um, Actually, I would say that you a bullet hole doesn't actually leave a hole. It it basically leaves a small perforation on one side of the entry wound, but then on the back side, it's more like a cone than a hole because it removes more material as it goes through the person. So yeah, it's kind of hard to measure a bullet hole because the wound path is not a circular hole, so to speak. Uh, the hole is still there. Yeah, it's hard to get rid of a hole. It's the first step in making sure that your hole doesn't get any deeper is to stop digging. Uh, which I'm on that particular subject going to stop right now because I felt like I was digging a hole. The nomadic madman says, I think Forrest had another plane also. That was a twin engine. I don't know what kind. Uh, yeah, I don't know his plane inventory, so I can't tell you. Um, MJ Enzer has a paper plane. The Hoof says the piston engine quit on him, I think twice. He had the dead stick land that thing, and that's not talked about much, but that's dicey. Forrest was an awesome pilot. I don't know how the Hoof of the Hearted type has all this information about Forrest Fenn as a pilot because I could not collect that. I did not. I do not have that dossier of information. I mean, that's Mindy level information on Forrest Fenn's piloting career, for sure. My dog Jack is now a grandpa. Two pups with his colors. Well, congratulations on having the grandpa. Oh, no, we're now calling it Puppy Mill Bill. Uh, Bill's going to name one of his puppies. He's going to name his puppies Ace. Maybe, Bill, I got a suggestion. You could name all your puppies after the characters in Top Gun. Or you could name them all after guns that shoot bullets, like Winchester, Beretta, Benelli. I'm talking high end now. That's the real expensive ones. Colt. But then, you might have a Savage down there at the bottom. The Gooey stole a frame from the Cherokee Nation and took it for a ride. Well, now that takes a little bit of cojones. The first plane Forrest had outside the Air Force was a Rockwell Commander, 112 turbocharged single engine. He had that before the Piper Malibu Mirage. Cool. We're getting all of the airplane information from Forrest Fenn. Well, I do want to do a shout out tonight to Ian, because Ian was been doing the daytime hours show, and some of us here join in on that from time to time. And he replayed the video that was out from Smell the Sunshine, where Smell the Sunshine went through all of the individual Air Force bases where him and Peggy were stationed. And one thing that I found out in that video was that he was actually stationed in North Carolina. North Carolina. And now we have John Collins Black, who's from North Carolina. Now I know North Carolina is a fairly big state, but it begs the question of, there's now a North Carolina connection nexus for Forrest Fenn, because I never knew until I saw that video that one of the places that Forrest Fenn was stationed was in North Carolina. So I did learn something from via Ian's program, showing a video that was done by Smell the Sunshine that I had not previously seen. And so I guess for those people that say there's nothing new to learn about Forrest Fenn, or there's nothing new, I learned something new this week about Forrest Fenn's military career. Now, if we could just get the same amount of information about Forrest Fenn's CIA career and who he might have put in jail, that would be really interesting. Nomadic and I are both saying that we are corrected about not having a twin. The Gooey Duck says all you need is the poem. Ian only read one of the books. Well, I mean, I'm just giving a shout out to Ian for playing that video, which I had not seen the section about where Forrest Fenn had been stationed. That's all I'm saying. Bora Bay is to be brought into family as a prize. So yeah, Doug knows a lot more than he has yet to admit. Okay, for all those people who are proclaiming that the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt was about Maxwell Broadbent, about this antiquities guy, and that in the end, the son, the lost son, who is discovered by the other two children, and then ends up living in Maxwell Broadbent's house. For all those people that think that's going to happen, I looked up the other day in the Santa Fe, New Mexico property records, 1021 Old Santa Fe Trail. And the ownership on that property is not Forrest Fenn Treasure Hunt Trust, is not Tesoro Laguna LLC, is not Capro Cal LLC, is not Cynthia Meacham LLC, is not Dow Neitzel LLC. It's Peggy and Forrest Fenn Trust. So the only way that all these fanciful people who have the idea that somehow somebody's going to end up in Maxwell Broadbent's house, vis-a-vis Douglas Preston, it would be up to the trustees of the Forrest and Peggy Fenn Trust to make that happen. Now, I don't know who the trustees are of this trust, but I'm telling you, that fanciful idea is not probably going to happen unless there's something weird in his trust document. So I'm just going to dispel that rumor. For those people that you're going to end up with the Nedra Matucci Gallery, Forrest Fenn's original property, original house, that property is for sale for $10 million, and it's owned by Nedra Matucci Galleries LLC, and the principal owners are the husband and wife, Matucci. So there's no way you're ever going to end up with the gallery. And for the guy who continually says that the Asaquia Madre, the mother ditch, and that it leads back to the gallery, not going to happen. Not going to happen. The ownership records, the real estate listings do not support that conclusion that you're going to end up with a $10 million gallery. I'm just saying. Trust of Living says, I want the twin estate, but there are no promises. Fantastic. Welcome in. How's it going? Happiness begins. Congratulations to our new national championship basketball team, the Michigan Wolverines. The Gooey Duck says that Fenn honored his word. Could you elaborate on how Forrest Fenn honored his word? Bill says that even the poem won't help when Forrest decided to renege. Yay for Michigan. I hope you recognize that quote. Fantastic says, happiness begins. I don't recognize the quote. Sorry. The Gooey Duck just punted and says, I can't do that yet, Dave. Oh, Fantastic says, you wrote it. Oh, I've written a whole blog since 2015 about Forrest Fenn. I have no idea how much. I have no idea what. I have no idea. I have no idea what I've written over the years. I apologize, but could you refresh me? What year did I write that? Oh man. I could have wrote that in a number of books too. I don't know. I think it's pronounced Gee-o-duck. I had him tell me it was the gooey duck. Oh, say it in the voice of Hal the computer. Dave, what are you doing, Dave? Dave, I'm not feeling well, Dave. The gooey duck says it's a clam in the Northwest. Ah, I see. Ah, see, gooey duck is putting it gooey duck. Yeah, Zozo, I got corrected once too on the pronunciation of that. So, I'm pretty I'm pretty aware of that. Well, I just got my 1 hour and 50 seconds in. I can officially get paid for a 1 hour Forrest Fenn show. They have cut back on the rations here. Instead of getting twin pieces of bread and water, you just get one piece. It's the mascot of the Pacific Northwest College, the Clam Diggers. Go Diggers! Well, let's see. I bashed the Seeker Summit 12-minute treasure hunt. Now it's time to go after Chad Bird. Okay, so in case you missed it, Chad's gotten busy now. He's got a big dairy barn he needs to do, and he's going to be away from his treasure hunt for a while and not being as active in the community. But before he left, he made sure that he reached out to Jenny Kyle, reached out to the film crew that was at Seeker Summit, put as much as he could on tape to audition for a show that they were doing, and he thought he was a part of the show, and then maybe he thought he wasn't a part of the show, and then he didn't understand why the film crew there was there if he wasn't going to be part of the show. Okay, I might be making all this up, but it seemed like there was a big stink from Seeker Summit because there were people there that some people thought were there doing a casting call for a reality-based TV show. But then some people didn't get involved with them and they felt left out. Like, why wasn't I selected for your show? I don't know. But apparently there was drama. There was drama at Seeker Summit over people who might have been there doing an open call. No, they weren't doing an open call. They were just there talking to. I guess you had to be there to understand what the drama was. But of course, K-Pro and Mike weren't there anyway, and they claimed to turn down roles in network television that weren't offered to them. I turned down so many starring roles. Well, you turned them down because they were never offered to you. Forrest Fenn actually forwarded me a name of a production company one time. And the person reached out to me and I said, well, I'm probably too busy to show you where the treasure was hidden. So I put off the whole ending, and so they had to go get Justin Posey to pretend. Okay, I just made that shit up. Fantastic said, Celine knew there was only one appropriate reply when the wine was served. She held her glass up and toasted. Happiness begins. And Jonas eagerly saluted. And indeed, I do remember writing that. In the chapter where that was the chapter where they had finally convinced. I can't even remember my character's name. Let's just say Forrest Fenn. That was when they finally convinced Forrest Fenn to have a fake finder in the book, The Thrill of the Chase. Cheers. I appreciate you having read my book. Oh, thank you so much. It may be evergreen. I would have to look that up. I could drive you there. Speedy the Gooey Duck is the official mascot of the Evergreen State College, symbolizing the college's uniqueness, environmental values, and Pacific Northwest identity. Well, thank you, Dow. Does this have anything to do with Loomy Island? We have a geography class in elementary school. We had a gooey graphy class in elementary school. Now that was clever. I used to dig for clams with sticks. Well, you and Rudy Green, did you get a coin? Did you get a coin? Did you get a coin for finding that stick? Oh, Trust of Living says JCB lived near there. Yeah. He's lived everywhere. Houston, North Carolina, California, Pacific Northwest, New York. He's been everywhere. Now hey, Zozo, cue it up. There's another Johnny Cash song you can cue up. You queued up Folsom earlier. Cue up the I've Been Everywhere. Gooey says, Loomy Island is where we would buy M80s and other stuff when I was in high school. Ooh, Gooey Duck, you're showing me your true feathers tonight. I might actually figure out who the Gooey Duck is. Are you Creighton Fenn? The Gooey Duck says, Justin and I lived in the same town years ago. Oh, well, we can try that one. Austin. Gooey Duck, does your mom live in Lee Summit, Missouri? Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, the lead character, Roswell Fenton. Oh. I have lived in Colorado since 2000. Oh. I see, Amy Seeks. Oh. Gooey Duck's mom and dad are in Kent, Washington. I have no idea who you are, Gooey Duck. I will probably never figure it out. I won't figure it out. I'm terrible at figuring out family mysteries and people who claim to know where everybody lived and this kind of thing. The Gooey Duck could be JCB for all I know. Could be Kim Sitz. I don't know. It's hard to say who these people are. Trust of Living says, did you sell the garage? No. I did get my school building sold a few years ago, and I bought another building in a tax-free exchange. Bill Gorman said he's Finn's mechanic. I lived in Colorado since 2000. Do you make pipes? Do you make pipes? Oh my God, the Gooey Duck. I did find it out. The Gooey Duck does live near Netherland. Hey, Gooey Duck, I passed your place. I was on my way to Estes Park, and I took the back roads, and I think I went by your mailbox in Netherland. I didn't find the dead guy, but he got moved anyway to Estes Park, didn't he? Didn't the dead guy get moved to Estes Park to the hotel where happened? Okay, for those people that don't know Colorado history, Jack! The staircase scene is always one that scares the bejesus out of me. Oh, on the Peak to Peak Highway. Oh, yeah. The Jeep girl Jody came by and said hi, and I also fixed Bill's timing belt. Well, you're just a humanitarian, Gooey Duck. I'm going to give it one more guess. Are you Josh Jordan? I feel like I'm on to tell the truth, and I'm trying to figure out who the guest is. Look for an American flag on Highway 119. Mm. Yeah, in a tough shed on the mountain on dry ice. No, that guy got tired of refilling the dry ice, and they moved the dead guy to the hotel, and I think he's now an attraction in the hotel that was the filming location of The Shining, which Jack was in. That's what all these little jokes were about. Was The Shining, the hotel where they filmed The Shining, and the fact that they moved the dead the dead guy that used to be on dry ice. They moved him. They moved him up to Estes Park. I'm pretty sure. Oh, the Gooey Duck used to make the course for Frozen Dead Guy days. Yeah, exactly. Estes Park bought the rights to the Frozen Dead Guy. Yeah. And the Hoof is filling us in. It's called the Stanley Hotel, named after Stanley steamer or something like that. So, at one time, I thought Steamboat Springs was mentioned in Forrest Fenn's poem, and I did some exhaustive research on where waters halt being Steamboat Springs. I mean, I looked everywhere for Forrest. I had a lot of research time. I probably spent a week trying to figure out if Forrest Fenn meant that Steamboat Springs was where warm waters halted and became steam. Oh, I guess I spent way too much time on this. Is that Peak to Peak Highway? Is there a Highway 7 along there in that general area? That's the thing about these small town local parties, these events that they have in these small communities. Usually, the setup barbecue before the actual event is the best part of the weekend. So, like, if you volunteer to put up the street signs and carry out the things that stop the traffic and hoist the flags on the poles, there's usually one big barbecue the night before, and it's a huge drunk fest. And so volunteering to put all that together is usually better than the event that actually happens. So yeah, that's usually where the fun starts. But U.S. Route 191 does not go through Colorado. So it must be Colorado 191. Okay, well, anyway, I've got 3 notifications. Luna Rose, Katie Milton, and The Real Greatness reacted to something I posted. Oh, okay. That was a comment I made about Rory McIlroy. So Highway 7 is not in your backyard. Okay, good to know. Oh, it's up north. Yeah, you see, I was on I was on the number 7. Uh, that's why that kind of filtered into my brain about that part of Colorado. Uh, but yeah, I did go through Lyons. I do remember seeing the sign for Lyons. There's a sign that kind of reminded me of the sign that was over at MASH, where it had a whole bunch of directions to different. It's like they copied the sign from MASH, and they had all these little arrows pointing to all these little towns up there. And I'm a flatlander. You don't need 60 different arrows pointing in 15 directions. You either go east, west, north, or south, and that's usually enough directions. Because to get from one side of the mountain to the other, you don't have to do that around here. I mean, like when I went to North Carolina, I was trying to find Boone, North Carolina. I had to drive around 3 mountains to finally get there, and it took 4 hours to go 25 miles. Well, it wasn't quite that bad, but it took an hour to go 20 minutes worth of driving. Because it's all 25, 30, 40 miles an hour. You know how it is in the mountains. I don't. Lyons to Estes Park. Oh, how much fun. Well, I'm glad you put a timing belt on that on that car, because the belt. I mean, the bullet was probably shot. Was the belt shot like the bullet? Well, do you think I've embarrassed myself long enough tonight? Well, I think I have. What do you guys think? So, congratulations to the astronauts who made it back to Earth. Glad you were able to get in. If you still want to go out and look at the Folsom man site, there was still 10 spots available in the morning session. If you want to get on that action, great. I'll tell you where I'm going to be staying in the next couple of weeks. Probably be Raton. Could be Clayton. Probably going to be Raton. I think there's better hotels there. And it doesn't smell like cattle. So that would even be better. Trust the Living has encouraged me to embarrass myself some more. Just put the 27 tag on that car. Yes, we need to put a tag on it. I would go for a 27. If you drive the car backwards, it would work out for you. I didn't want Bill doing his timing belt by himself. It just worked out and easier if I did it. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to try to figure out who the gooey duck is. I know there was a couple of people that used to do shows who claimed to have been in the mechanic industry business in the past. I know Josh Jordan was doing some videos on that, but anyway, the gooey duck has never done any quote unquote shows. But you definitely have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't know. I struck out on the Husker Du. I struck out and figured out who Husker Du was. So I mean, I'm not very good at that game. I'm shy. I'm terribly shy. So were you in the play The Princess and the Pea? Are you Carol Burnett? Are you Carol Burnett? Did you play Winifred? Now, if you're actually getting this obscure reference to High School Musicals, then you and I truly need to get out more often, honestly. The gooey duck says, yes, I was. My dad was a producer. So you played Winifred in The Princess and the Pea? Oh, great. Oh, anyway. Oh, Christopher is a good guy. That has been misunderstood in the past. Yeah, I don't, I don't even know who Christopher is. So I apologize for not having any information here. Uh, are you talking about Christofferson? Uh, oh, anyway. Well, there you go. I got a first name to go off of. Hmm. I remember back when it was easy to know who people were because if they did a show, they just kind of put their name on their show. Uh, I mean, I used to be able to go to Desert File and he would tell you who he was. You know, I am Christopher, the androgynous name in the Chase Forest mentioned. Oh, yeah, we love androgynous names. Uh, the gooey duck is apparently K-Pro, Chris K-Pro. Is her name even Chris? What is her name? I don't even know what that person's first name really is. Um, that's how bad I am. Congratulations. Oh, you'll never get the second name from me. Oh, nomadic has no sound. Uh, that's okay. I don't particularly need to know who anybody really is. Uh, it's I just appreciate people who appreciate the Forrest Fenn conversation. Uh, uh, okay. Uh, uh, I am Kelly, his twin. Trusted living. You're not going to get away with that, Tommy. Tommy, rebuild the world. Bill says that K-Pro couldn't change a timing belt. Well, you want to bet? She changed the whole timing of the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. Oh, there's the Jeep Girl Jody. Oh, you almost missed the show. I was just about ready to wrap it up. I was about ready to wrap this show up and call it good. Uh, does anybody want to meet a Sunday in Colorado Springs on the 17th of May at the Golden Corral? We could eat the crap out of that buffet. Oh, Fantastics is androgynous too. He might also be ambidextrous, being able to sign the name with either hand. Oh, the Gooey Duck and Jeep Girl Jody have not met, even though they both are in Colorado. I think maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Colorado has a Golden Corral, uh, and in Colorado Springs, or we could all eat in the fuselage at the airplane restaurant in Colorado Springs. I was at the airplane restaurant in Colorado Springs, and I was able to get a table in the actual plane itself. And I was sitting there with my nephews, which were all like seniors in high school, maybe juniors in high school. And I said, I bet you this waitress has never heard this joke. All right. And she came to get our drink orders. And she goes, okay, so what would you like to drink? And I said, well, I would like to have a diet soda, but I'd like to have the whole can. And then I followed that up by saying, I bet you haven't heard that joke before. And she goes, almost every night. Oh, I hear that joke almost every night. Anyway. Yeah, so I can sign my name with both hands. I broke my arm once and didn't get a choice. Oh. Hey, well, there's one person that might. I think I had Ian convinced to come to Colorado Springs to have lunch at the Golden Corral on the 17th as well. He said, "Oh, there's plenty of things I can do in Colorado Springs." Well, gee, thanks for coming down to talk about Forrest Fenn. I thought maybe you'd bring your BBB book and we could go through it page by page. You have pink hair. Well, so did I. So did I. I had pink hair. It was that one time that I had the hair permed back in high school. I blame my loss of hair on that one perm I had. Oh, the gooey duck is Godolkin. Could you bring the frog? Godolkin, could you bring the frog with you, please? I'd like to have a Tom Collins tonight. I had a little Bacardi. I got some Bacardi Gold. Add some of that. That was fun. All right. Well, Trusted Living says, not Eugene. Oh, tell us more. Tell us more, Trusted Living. Tell us more. I still can't believe he bought the frog. That was I think that was the most expensive Fenn item. I think you could buy it on eBay for a while for like $250,000, if I remember right. So that was a good price. Yeah, the Forrest Fenn frog. I'm pretty sure Godolkin ended up buying that at the auction. Yeah, pretty sure. I think I tracked that back correctly. I'm pretty sure that the person who bought that was Godolkin. People use different screen names on their eBay accounts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you kind of have to go through the iterations to figure out if it was really Godolkin that bought it or not. Bill Gorman says he's not a gay dolphin. I know. That's the guy in England that's the gay dolphin. I know that. I mean, I'm smart enough to know that. If he wants you to know, he will ask. Do you know who I am yet? Asked Trusted Living. Well, Tommy, I thought you were Tommy, Trusted. I thought you were Rebuild the World. I thought you were Rebuild the World. Yeah, I know that the gooey duck is not because Eugene's a little older. I don't think he'd be putting on timing belts. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to call it good. Yeah, but Trusted Living is admitting to being rebuild the world. Yeah, yeah. I was watching an old video of Desert File today. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Uh, the Zozo Rocks is gonna call it a day. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I put in an hour and a half of Fenn time, treasure hunt time. Uh, Tikkum Olam. Was that your Hebrew name? Uh, I yeah, I, I don't know. I think my name's biblical. Estes Park is about 35 minutes. Yeah, I think I made it. I don't think I made it all the way to Estes Park when I was heading up there. I Do you know the church that's in the mountains there? Uh, and then there's the Bunce School, and then there's that church, the monastery there that's by the Bunce School. I was on my way to Estes Park, and I was going to drive all the way. I went by Long's Peak and the Diamond, and I drove past Long's Peak and the Diamond. I spent way too much time taking pictures of Long's Peak and the Diamond from different angles. And then I stopped and saw the Bunce School, and I took some pictures of the Bunce School. And then I got to the monastery thing, and I took some pictures. And by the time I did all that, I didn't have time to make it all the way up to Estes Park. Uh, oh, that church has a weird past? Oh, I didn't know that. It's just like you go up the road and there's this big monastery on the side of the road. It's like, wow, who decided to put that there? That's kind of odd. Uh, the Bobby Bizzard Buzzard. Is that who built the church? Oh, TO means to repair the world. It's my job title. Hmm. Well, it'd be funny if Estes Quest would hide a treasure in Estes Park. Maybe we suggest that to that guy. I don't know who won the hot dog eating contest at Seeker Summit. I don't have content on that. Are you talking about the whole town of Estes Park is weird, or the whole town where that monastery is weird? You locals are talking in code here. I don't know the context of the church and the town and all that stuff. So I I apologize. I don't have the requisite background knowledge. Let's bring in Ian. Maybe Ian can give us some context from Breckenridge. Okay, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. I've got the director over here giving me the sign. The code walkers. Yes. Let's thank those code talkers for breaking the code. Oh, the gooey duck works for everyone in town because the old money makes for weird stuff. Indeed, Jeep Girl Jody, congratulations to that Artemis crew for a successful splashdown. If only Forrest Fenn could have had a successful landing like the Artemis crew, we wouldn't all be here tonight. Hmm. It's not the planes that land that makes the news. It's the planes that don't land that makes the news. Oh, everybody loves old money. Everybody loves old money, especially young women. I'm not saying she's a gold digger. I'm not saying she's a gold digger. Oh, oh man, you guys all know each other. This isn't fair. You all know everybody here knows each other. I feel like I'm talking to everybody in Colorado. Oh, by the way, just so you know, Justin Posey eliminated Colorado from the map's edge treasure hunt. Uh, well, like I said, I'm going to be in Folsom, New Mexico on the 16th of May. And I'm going to stay the night. And so the 17th of May, there's a Golden Corral in Colorado Springs. Anyway, the Golden Corral. That's my standing joke for the night. So anyway, I want to figure out where I'm going to stay, and then I'll let people know. If you want to go to that event, there's still 10 spots in the morning session. I love more plates. Did you know, hey people, did you know that when I went to the Finbury, where they had a whole bunch of stuff to give away at Hyde Park in like 2017 maybe or 18, my ticket was pulled. My ticket was pulled. And I got a plate. I picked out a plate of an Indian out of the giveaway bag. This was the same year that they gave the book to, and I wrote in the book my solved location in the book that they gave to Seattle Sullivan at that event. Okay, Bobby Bizup. There's a creepy story. All right, I'll Google that. I will Google that later. Oh, the Gooey Duck is talking about license plates. I did not get a license plate. I just got a plate with an Indian on it. Some famous chief. I don't even think it was from Forrest Fenn's collection. But anyway, a license plate. Oh yeah, I used to make clocks. Gooey Duck. I used to make license plate clocks. You take a license plate, you drill a hole in the center, you go to Hobby Lobby, and you buy the little mechanism, and then you put that in there, and it'll hang on the wall. Hey, I have the license plate for New Mexico that says VERAS. I have VERAS, a New Mexico license plate. Seattle Sullivan used to live at one of my favorite fishing holes on a river. Really? Whatever happened to Seattle Sullivan? Colorado has now went to black plates. I see Colorado plates in Kansas all the time, and most of them are white. I mean, most of them. Or do you mean that the Colorado plates used to have on the top, they used to have Green Mountains and then Colorado, and now it's black? Is that what you mean? Oh, okay. Well, to all those license plate collectors out there, I guess I'm not going to share the rest of that story, but anyway, needless to say, Forrest Fenn has my art, and I want it back. I want all my art back. I want my art back. I want my art back. If you're not going to give me the prize, I want my art back. Okay, what is it I need to look up? I need to look up Bobby Bizup. Bobby Bizup. Okay, I'll look that up. Trusted living. If you had a number 12 plate from Massachusetts, that thing would have been like worth a lot of money. Yeah, she probably stole about 100,000 from you with that license plate. That would have been a prized, very, very prized plate. Bill Gorman says that Seattle Sullivan is in North Bend, Washington. Well, I'm glad to hear that everybody that he is doing okay. Uh, Gooey Duck has a Utah plate made of leather. Man, you guys are really into this license plate collecting. Man, I never got that into it. I just have a few. But I used to make clocks out of them. I want my artwork back. Well, that was a fun. All right, folks. Thanks for joining in. Hope everybody had a good time reminiscing. Uh, I still have a Columbine Memorial one on the oh oh oh. Nomadic Madman asked, "Is your artwork at the house?" I have no idea what happened to any of my artwork that I sent to Forrest Fenn. I imagine it probably ended up in the trash can along with Jackie Kennedy, the book, or Time. I imagine it ended up in the trash just like Time and Catcher in the Rye. So yeah, I have no idea. Uh, some of my artwork was a house. Let me see if I can find my artwork. This will be it. If I can find it, I know I'm going to be done. Oh. Wow, it's not there. Where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I don't know if I'll be able to find my art or not. Hmm. Well, let's see. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm a little verklempt right now, looking for my art. Haven't found it. Don't think I'm going to find it. Should be in here. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. I am going to be verklempt. Not going to be able to find it. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Talk amongst yourselves. Last time I gave Forrest Fenn my uh, I don't think I have a picture of it. Well, that's too bad. Well, if I don't have it, I don't have it. I did, like I said, I changed computers. I didn't copy everything over. So I might not have copied that over. Probably didn't. Okay, well, I don't have it. Sorry. I was going to show you my art. All right. Good to see all you. Talk soon. Waving goodbye. Oh, Nomadic knows the music. I searched the world over and thought I'd found true love. You met another and you were gone. That's right. The gooey duck found a cool looking rock. You better check with Chad Bird. It might be his geode. Well, congratulations, Bill, on having 12 dogs, 9 pups, and the bullet. I hope there's room in the cowboy car for all of you all. Well, anyway, it's good to get together, visit, reminisce. Uh, uh, so anyway, I'll be back later, maybe next week. Until then, uh, have a good weekend. Um, Celebrate our accomplishment of getting those men and women back from the moon, from outer space. Truly an amazing accomplishment. I can say that I lived through. I was born in '66, so I lived through our first moon landing. I was 3, but I can remember it as a 3-year old, and I lived long enough to see the return. So, great. Hey, where is your posters? Well, one of them is right over here. I separated them. I separated them. So one of them's over here, and then the other one I put in the other room. So unfortunately, I took the twins. I separated the twins, and like I said, one of them's over there, and the other one's in the other room. Fantastic worked tirelessly to assist getting them through the splashdown. Well, I mean, there could be people in this chat that had a role in the space shuttle. So, just a few miles from where I live, there's a welding shop that 10 years ago welded up a mock capsule for NASA. In other words, they built a steel structure that was to be used for practice exercises in a water situation should things go bad. And that shop, just not too far from me, was involved in providing training equipment to NASA. And it literally takes a village, except in Ian's case, where you have to escape the village. But anyway, uh, it literally takes a village to accomplish this. A small welding shop in central Kansas could have gotten a contract to build a practice module for NASA. Astral projecting is better than a trip to the moon. I'll have to look that up. Uh, I don't even know what astral projecting is. Well, back when the space shuttle exploded, NASA stood for need another 7 astronauts. Lord, I apologize for that insensitivity, especially on a night where we've accomplished so much. Well, according to Bill Gorman and the toilet, apparently they were not having any successful splashdowns while they were circling the moon. Well, that toilet had to be at least a $60 million toilet that didn't work. Just goes to show you should pay your plumber a little bit more. uh, yeah, well, when you're in outer space and it's liquid, how's that Ziploc bag working for you? All right. Good night. Good night. Good night. Uh, I think they just had to rotate the capsule so the sun could warm the crap up. Zero gravity. Ground control. We have a problem with the toilet. Lunar module. Could you please do a adjustment to the orientation of the ship and direct it towards the sun? We think that you can unfreeze your ship. Roger, copy that. What do you think those zero gravity depends are for? Fantastic. Fantastic said that back when they were kids, they had full moons all the time. Commander Poopins? Come in, Commander Poopins. Could we drop trowel? That's a negative. Oh, the Regenesis Codex is here. I remember when I was a kid, they had these vacuum tubes in the S&S Kresge store and the JCPenney store. They came down to the cash register, and my mom would hand them money, and they would put it in a tube, and the tube would go up to the ceiling, and you could watch it go across the ceiling all the way up to the upper level. And then magically, it would come back down through the tube, down to the person who took the money, and they'd open up the container. I can't imagine a toilet would work any different than that. Does anybody else remember those systems in the old JCPenney store? I walked into the lunch counter there at the Walgreens store, and there was no black people sitting at the counter. Same thing, but my idea just launched it. Yeah, in the world of crap, you don't want the return business. For sure. All right, folks, you've been a pleasure. You've been a treat. I could go another 8 minutes and get a full 2-hour payday, but I'm feeling generous and I'll just donate that time back to the cause. It's truly 10 o'clock here, and the fat lady has sung. So until next week, remember, the Lawrence Welk Show is still on. Don't get stuck in a truck this weekend. Yeah, that. I think I'm finally healing up a little bit from that, but I'm finally healing up. But I got this spot. Whenever I touch it, it's still real tender right here. And when sometimes the back of my elbow is a little numb. So I'm hoping I don't have permanent damage from that. But yeah, that was bad when I got stuck in there. I could have been there all night. Oh, it works like this. You crap into the tube, you close the valve, then open the outer valve and send it. Well, that's just how a modern crapper actually works. Oh, Bill says there's going to be snow on Taco Tuesday. I think I had Taco Thursday. I ate at Taco Bell on Thursday. I got their $5 luxury box. Oh, that was some more of my artwork that I sent to Forrest Fenn. One time I sent Forrest Fenn a Taco Bell luxury box filled with all kinds of goodies, so that when he opened it up, it was like a pop-up book. Where's all my art, Forrest? All right, good night. Ending stream in 10. I'm going to do this like a lunar countdown. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Artemis has returned to Earth. Bill, go live. You've got 13 people. I'll probably join you.